Okay, so now I'm gonna show you the important parts of this track. First, go all the way to the left side. You need to use all of the track available. And then start braking at the start of this curve, at the 100 meter board. It is very important to trail brake into this corner. And then, as it's such a hard braking zone, so you need to slow down the car as fast as possible. Don't use this inside sausage curb, but the curb itself, you can use it. Then the next one, it is a very tricky corner. You need to be all the way on the left, so you need to use the curb as much as possible, but it is so hard to get it right, as it is a mega high curb. So if you don't get it perfectly, you'll just lose out massively. Then same for the next one, but this time you don't use all of it, you only use the high part of the curb. So with your right tire, you go on the curb, but the rest stays off. Then you drift wide a little bit, as because you want to go on throttle as early as possible. But then you need to hug the inside wall to minimize the track distance. Then a little bit after the 50 meters, you throw your car in. Use all of it on the inside that's available of the curbstone. To open up this one, to again use all of the curb as possible. To again open up this one. Take all the curb possible, and you can take as much speed as possible into this one, where it is really tricky to find your braking point, as there isn't really a marker here. But then you need to brake, shift down a little bit, and then try and focus on this exit, as it's such a long straight afterwards. You don't use this inside curb on the left here, as if you hit it, it'll unsettle your car and you'll probably spin out to the left. Then on the exit you go on throttle as fast as possible and use every bit available of the exit curb. So you can go on throttle as fast as possible. Then you have this very long straight, so that's why setup wise you will be running very low wings. Then this braking zone, it is between the black box over here and the bridge. So it's around here. You're gonna be starting to brake at 110, maybe 120 meters. Trail brake. You can hit this inside curb, but it doesn't really benefit you, so you probably need to stay off it. And this is such a hard corner, as you need to brake whilst turning in, and keep this as tight as possible. The tighter you can keep it without hitting the wall, the better. Then this is the hardest corner on the track by far. All the way to the left here, all the way to the outside, and around a little bit behind. Around here, just before the smoke can go away, but just before the curb starts, you're gonna shift down and brake a little bit and throw it in as much as possible, as much as you dare, to go all the way on this curve, but then all the way over this one. I think it's like this. It's so hard to get right, but you need to mount it completely, as it just gains you seconds, tenths of a second. All the way to the right again and throw it in, and you need to brake that little bit when you get back to the right side of the track, where the curve starts. So around here you brake a little bit and immediately throw it in. Avoid this inside curve and go as early on throttle as possible, all the way to the right side against the wall, and then again the very long back straight. Good overtaking opportunities around this track, so it is a fun one. Then final braking zone, make sure to not mess it up. You're going to be starting to brake around here, a little bit after the bridge, and at 110, maybe 120 meters. Trail brake a lot into this corner, as it's a very hard braking zone again. Go all the way to the inside, but don't hit the curb. And then again, all the way on the outside, use every part of the track available. But make sure to not spin out, because this is such a hard one to take. And then if you're a quali lap, use all of this inside curve available to minimize the distance. And that's a lap around Miami.